talking to them for a little while until you're cool, man.
When it's to the people have a voice inside of them that talk to them, you know. That is a voice that these people must listen to. Because in everything you're going to do, there's a wrong way and a right way. And if you listen good, you will know the right way.
True.
You know? Because there is a voice inside talking to everyone. Seeing?
True.
Seeing.
Sports should be fun. Sports should be interesting. Sports should be entertaining. Sports should be riveting. This is CVM Sports. I'm Jordan Fort.
All live them here. It's your boy, the Billboard Selector World. Boom! CVM. You see it happen. What more can I do?
You can open a Sagicor Bank savings account from anywhere. Go online and open yours today.
The time by Sagicor Bank is
7 o'clock.
Tonight in CVM News at 7, Aracabessa Primary School prepares to reopen following fire. Greater Bernard launched to become a city in parish of Portmore. And teen burn survivors share their stories of hope. While in sports, Reggae Girls sent on loan to Chelsea. From Kingston, Jamaica, this is CVM News at 7, the weekend edition. It's Saturday, March 1, 2025. I'm Ramon Gordon. Thank you so much for joining us. Just days after a fire tore through Aracabessa Primary School, the institution is bouncing back. While the flames left classrooms in ruins, swift actions from local stakeholders have set repairs in motion. More in this report.
Classes were back in session for students in grades 3 to 6 at the Aracabessa Primary School on Friday, following a fire that destroyed a portion of the school Wednesday evening. The West St. Mary Member of Parliament Robert Montague says cleanup activities have begun and support is being provided by the Education Ministry.
Solid Waste came in and cleaned the area, removed all the debris and cleaned up. The Ministry of Education's response was very good. They also came in. The parents sent out their children, and it was a wonderful look when we all put aside all issues and focus on one thing, how wonderful the results can be.
Work by the ministry and engineers continues this weekend, and replacements for the affected classrooms are underway.
I must, however, say that the government's response has been swift and positive, and work continues so that on Monday, school will be open to all students. And what a wonderful feeling that just a few days ago, we thought it was all over.
Courtney Lewis for CVM News.
And as work on the Aracabessa Primary School continues, the St. Mary Western MP promises upgrades to other schools in the parish.
I will continue to do the work to get the improvements to the Aracabessa Primary School and the other schools slated for upgrade for this financial year. The Aracabessa High School will be getting additional classrooms, lab space, staff room, a new sewage system, a solar system to run the school, fencing, and the installation of disabled lifts and ramps to allow our disabled children to access classroom. The Iona High School will also be getting additional classrooms, staff rooms, a number of labs, a new sewage system, fencing and painting and work on their parking area. The Taki High School, the government will be purchasing lands beside the school to expand the school and to bring the school to one campus. Currently, Taki has 2 campuses 8 miles apart, and that's not healthy and that's not good even for management and administration. The Jeffreytown Primary School is going to be rebuilt. A new school is going to be placed in Jeffreytown because that school also was burned by fire.
More than 30 young entrepreneurs in Clarendon are getting the tools to turn their business ideas into reality. The parish's development committee is strengthening their plans through an entrepreneurship training program, equipping them to launch their own businesses. Trisha Kelly has the details.
Being a youth can be difficult for many. It's all about making choices that will have lifelong impact. It's why authorities in Clarendon have joined with the Heart NSTA Trust to assist young entrepreneurs and those interested in the field. A participant, Danica Johnson, says the experience has been beneficial towards an upcoming business.
With this program, the effect that it has on my business is that it helps me to be more self-aware, it helps me to be more confident, and it also gives me a community of persons who I can rely on, whether I'm having an issue throughout my business, that I can count on to facilitate certain things.
The program, which also promotes inclusivity, aids participants with networking opportunities. The students are taught to lean on each other and take advantage of what can be described as symbiotic relationships. Eureka Douglas is a member of the Clarendon Development Committee and the General Manager of Benevolent Society. She says the main objective of the initiative is to empower youth to get involved in entrepreneurship.
One of the first things that we did was conflict resolution, and we also, tried to understand each participant, their needs. We had persons with disabilities, we have young males who normally are left behind. We had females as a part of the group, and we tried to understand where each of them were coming from.
The program's development has gained the attention of sponsors whose goals are aligned with the initiative.
We ultimately started the project with the target of having 30 young persons being engaged in entrepreneurial training. However, the committee has done so well. They've actually had 38 persons that they have engaged, which is great. The idea was to support the parish of Clarendon with their local development initiatives.
The initiative began around 2016 and has been impacting lives ever since. Trisha Kelly, CVM News.
The Greater Bernard Lodge development is expanding, bringing more affordable housing options as Portmore moves to parish status. During a tour on Friday, Prime Minister Andrew Holness reaffirmed his government's commitment to making home ownership more accessible. Here's Courtney Lewis.
New housing solutions are coming to the market as the Greater Bernard Lodge housing development expands. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says the New Oak Estate residential development is expected to serve thousands of Jamaicans in the coming years.
I would say that in the next 5 years, the entire Bernard Lodge development will be complete. There are about 4 developers already active in the area, with just over 3,000 houses complete, and other developers are shortly to be mobilized. At its completion, there would be anywhere between 10,000 to 15,000 houses built in this area.
Talks for an urban centre are also underway, which Holness says will make Bernard Lodge a city within the parish of Portmore. And as the demand for housing grows, the PM assures affordable solutions.
So we have developments like these, which would support more middle to upper middle income. We have other developments that would cater to lower income persons, affordable housing.
But he also highlights the benefits of urbanization for developers, with the units built on land leased from the government to private sector developers for phased build-out of houses.
And they have just over 500 houses and another set of houses to come. The demand for these houses continue to outstrip the number of houses brought to market by as much as 2 to 1. So there is real effective demand for these houses. So the developers have market certainty as well when they make the investments in this area.
The goal is for contractors to undertake 10,000 houses at a time, but the PM states that is a longer-term aspiration.
But that will, of course, take time for them to develop the expertise, build the capacity, develop the supply chain, develop the technical capabilities to be able to handle that size and magnitude of housing development. Or once they develop the capacity, once they have projects like these and they are seeing the future and have a long stretch to do the developments, you will see them bringing housing to market much more rapidly.
Courtney Lewis for CVM News.
Many diseases remain unknown, their names and symptoms unfamiliar to many. But for one young patient care officer, her rare condition is all too real, turning her life into a daily battle. We share her story.
Have you ever felt like you're running even though you're walking?
Imagine that you're waiting at a stoplight to cross like I'm doing now. There's concern, frustration, even anxiety. But are you aware, Grandma, that some of the headaches that you're feeling, well, the headaches, there are people living with a condition that's a rare condition. Yes. Are you aware of that?
Yes, I'm aware.
Yes, it belongs to a category of rare diseases, and there's a day actually set aside for rare diseases. Have a good day.
Well, approximately 300 million people around the world perhaps had a good day as they became the center of added attention because they are living with a rare disease. CVM News caught up with Alicia Robinson. She was taking a stroll to one of her favorite treat spots.
So February is Rare Disease Awareness Month, and it's a month where right across the world they celebrate persons living with rare conditions. And I fall in the category because idiopathic intracranial hypertension falls under the rare disease. It's a rare neurological condition.
There's a diagnosis challenge because the symptoms of IIH for short mimic other conditions.
So I have headaches across my head in the lower back, so my neck and my shoulder tend to hurt because it's like my head is heavy. If I can say, it feels like I have a ton of cement, so there's pressure on my head. You know, my eyes hurt, sometimes they get red, my face, I have facial swelling, which is also another condition that I was also diagnosed with.
At 34 years old, enduring constant pain is Alicia's lifestyle, even after 2 surgical procedures with another pending. The medical bills are sky high and add to her trauma, hearing a fellow female warrior committed suicide, unable to cope with the daily pressure and the battle inside the head.
CVM News at 7 continues in a moment.
Sunrise marches on. Kickstart your month with Miss Kitty and Dennis. We begin with Money Masterclass. Carlton answers your money questions. Then it's all things brunch boxes in Breakfast is Served. We'll wrap things up with the latest in the Jamaica Premier League. You've never seen a sunrise quite like this.
Sports should be fun. Sports should be interesting. Sports should be entertaining. Sports should be riveting. This is CVM Sports. I'm Jordan Flint.
In a world where innovation meets tradition, agriculture is evolving like never before. From the latest sustainable farming technologies to age-old practices passed down through generation, agriculture is
precious to me.
I love the animals. I don't mind getting my hands dirty. I love working.
Join us right here on CVM TV every Sunday during news at 7 as we explore the people, the science, and the breakthroughs that are shaping the way we grow, eat, and live. You don't want to miss it. This is Farming Forward.
Welcome back. The Jamaica Stock Exchange, JSE, and the Jamaica Society for the Blind, JSB, have signed a MOU aimed at fostering inclusion for visually impaired students. As part of the agreement, the JSE will finance tutoring for students preparing for CSEC examinations, helping to bridge educational gaps. Here's Joel Crosskill.
Imagine yourself at 17, 18 years old, 16 years old, getting blind and not being able to complete your CXC studies. And you go through a period of depression, you struggle with it, and then at 25, 26, you're probably out of the rut and you're ready to go again. And that is where the Jamaica Society for the Blind has to be there for you to facilitate you going through getting your subjects, getting your life back on track. So today, the contribution of the Jamaica Stock Exchange is helping to deal with those scenarios. It's helping students to move from a point of hopelessness to a point of hope.
It's an experience that was brought to the awareness of those gathered at the recent signing of a Memorandum of Understanding between the Jamaica Society for the Blind JSB, whose President Damon McLean and Managing Director of the Jamaica Stock Exchange Dr. Marlene Street Forrest exchanged signatures and remarks relating to the improvement of inclusivity not only in the economy but also Jamaican society at large.
Today we affirm our commitment to empowering members of the disabled community, not just in word but in action. At the JSC, we firmly believe in supporting excellence, whether in mind, body, or spirit, and we recognize that true empowerment extends beyond the financial markets to meaningful initiatives that shape lives. In shaping lives, people are empowered and people are able to excel even in the financial community. And this for us is about investment.
It's one that is not misplaced, according to McLean, who highlighted a clear disparity in the opportunities that are available for the blind and visually impaired population of Jamaica, which is approximately 4 in every 1,000 children of school age.
The unemployment rate among this group of individuals is 8 to 9 times that of the national unemployment level or rate. We are setting an example that tells Jamaica that you do not discriminate in any form or fashion as it relates to employing persons with disabilities. To provide a facilitating space where blind and visually impaired persons wishing to acquire subjects to make themselves more qualified, to give themselves a better chance of upward social mobility. The Jamaica Society for the Blind facilitates these opportunities so that they can have this chance, a second chance, or a third chance at life.
Dr. Street Forrest provided additional insight into the nature of assistance the MOU now allows the JSE to facilitate for the JSB.
We are going to be providing financial support to enable students, blind students, to complete their CSEC examination. We will be doing the ABCs of investing in the stock market because ultimately they will be working, and we feel that this is a way to create wealth, intergenerational wealth for them as with anybody else. So yes, that's a part of the MOU that we will be doing courses with them. It is our responsibility to bridge that gap, ensuring that bright minds, wherever they are nurtured and are actualized.
With heightened awareness of those limitations to opportunity, Dr. Street Forrest spoke of how the initiative is consistent with the JSE's establishment of the Jamaica Social Stock Exchange to provide a platform to assist social sector organizations to attract long-term funding to make their own efforts more sustainable.
It fits in with our overall objective of the Jamaica Social Stock Exchange, Ms. Nora. And what we are trying to do, the Jamaica Social Stock Exchange, it's about society, it's about people, it's about empowering lives.
Joel Crosskill, CVM News.
Emotions ran high at Sangster International Airport as burn survivors Adriana Lang and Alicia King met for the first time after undergoing treatment abroad. Adriana lost her home and 3 brothers in a 2022 fire, while Alicia survived a brutal act of violence in 2023. Courtney Lewis has their story.
It's a story of hope for Adriana Lang and Alicia King, both burn victims who met at the Sangster International Airport on Thursday. 15-year-old Adriana was receiving treatment in Boston, USA, while 19-year-old Alicia was receiving treatment in Texas. The emotional encounter was a moment of joy for both survivors.
I really feel the support from her to see someone that is in the same condition as me. She actually boosts my confidence, you know, like she wears clothes, she has that much confidence, she doesn't care what anybody say. I always see her in her live or TikTok and she's really happy, so she actually boosts my confidence to be the person that.
Despite Alicia having undergone a staggering 30 surgeries and Adriana 28, the pair remain hopeful for future treatments. Adriana now looks forward to physical therapy, which wasn't always an easy feat.
Well, it's very easy and fun. Every day I want to go to therapy, which I did not like therapy. So it's very easy, it's not very hard. I always tell myself that I can do it and nothing is too hard.
Adriana's father has been a pillar of support. As she prepares for further treatment, she is also setting her sights on academic success, hoping to pass 8 CSEC subjects.
Come back from that, you know, and just focus on my daughter. Alicia King is here, her mother is here. How do you feel about that support? Yes, it is very tremendous because I've been following her situation, you know, from the get-go, from the start, and it really touches me, trust me. And to see where she is right now is definitely amazing. How many surgeries has she done since the inception of the
The San Myrna Foundation has supported the girls' crucial recovery and treatment abroad since Adriana's tragedy in 2022 and Alicia's in 2023, raising over $40,000 each.
And at San Myrna, we're honored to be beside these 2 women who actually are 2 young ladies who actually have the spirit of Phoenix. And Jamaica is we're just happy to show Jamaica that through determination and through love, their stories are not just about tragedy, but it's about hope, miracle, and love. And this is definitely a story of triumph for both young.
Courtney Lewis for CVM News.
More to come after this break.
Continue their rebound from a bad start, play a Chapelton Maroons team facing relegation. It's Sunday match day, March 2 on CVM TV with kickoff at 3:30 p.m. at Harbourview Mini Stadium. The Stars of the East want more breathing room between themselves and the relegation zone, and a win against Chapelton would go a far way. It's Sunday match day, Harbourview versus Chapelton Maroons at Harbourview Mini Stadium March 2, and it's live on CVM TV. Kickoff is at 3:30 p.m.
Sunday's JPL match on CVM, powered by Sunshine Snacks and ABC Electrical.
Every dream conquered is another dream gained. I land and I fly again like a jet plane. Headed straight in your direction, 'cause I'm wiser, one step closer. I'm winning 'cause I work so hard. And the music keeps on playing, and the people them I say we are my show tonight.
CVM TV and live Jamaica Premier League action on a Monday night. A match made in heaven. We call it Monday Match Night. Catch all the hard-pounding JPL Monday night action from now until the end of the season on CVM TV's Monday Match Night. Matchday Mondays at 7:45 p.m. with rebroadcast Tuesdays at 10 a.m. Nothing else can quite match up. Monday Match Night, powered by Sunshine Snacks and ABC Electrical.
Now to regional and international news.
We begin with news in the region. In a highly charged moment for national security, President Dr. Irfan Ali delivered a live statement on Saturday following reports that a Venezuelan vessel had approached Guyana's assets within its exclusive economic zone. More from Newsroom Guyana.
This morning, Saturday, 1st of March 2025, at approximately 7 hours, a Venezuelan armed patrol ship entered Guyana's waters. During this incursion, the Venezuelan vessel approached various assets in our exclusive waters, including FPSO Prosperity. Based on visible markings, the patrol vessel was identified as ABF Wakeri PO-11 IMO 4695542, a Venezuelan Coast Guard vessel. Our assets and FPSO Prosperity are operating lawfully within Guyana's exclusive economic zone. The patrol vessel transmitted a radio message declaring that the FPSO was operating in what it termed disputed international waters.
Local authorities are concerned about the tougher sanctions imposed by the United States targeting the Cuban medical program. The U.S. recently announced the expansion of its policy restricting visas related to Cuba, which will now involve the suspension of those associated with the island's international medical cooperation agreements. Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade Kerry Simmons says the developments now require dialogue with U.S. officials. We hear more from CBC News Barbados.
The truth of the matter is that Grenada has signaled, for example, that, if you took the Cubans out of their medical health system, their public health system in Grenada, you would be down to one anesthesiologist in the country and one cardiac surgeon. So they obviously are heavily dependent. Interestingly, so too is Jamaica, deeply intertwined with the assistance from Cuba. And it will vary from country to country. I think that what is important, and there is a book called Politics Among Nations by a gentleman called Hans J. Morgenthau. And he keeps making the point that the only permanent interest of any country is its national interest. And what is our national interest? Our national interest really with Cuba is what we have just discussed, the diplomacy of development.
And in international news, rare earth metals are making headlines as demand rises for products and governments seek secure supply. But what's rare about them? Reuters tells us more.
Rare earth minerals are used in almost every technology you can think of. They're present in cell phones, medical devices, wind turbines, weapons, and much more. But what are they, and why are they important? And are they actually rare?
So the term rare earth elements, it refers to 17 chemically similar elements within the lanthanide series.
This is Professor Julie Michelle Klinger, a geographer and senior visiting fellow at the Institute for Human Sciences.
So if you can picture the periodic table, it's that bar at the bottom. Elements 57 to 71, plus scandium and yttrium.
Reuters special correspondent on commodities Eric Onstadt has a bit of the history.
The elements were first discovered by a Swedish miner in 1787 near a village called Ytterby, and that gives two of the elements their names, yttrium and ytterbium. There's another one called promethium, named after the Greek god that supposedly stole fire from the gods to give it to humans. China is by far the dominant producer. They account for 60% of mine production and 90% of processed rare earths. But interestingly, this wasn't always the case. In the 1980s, for instance, the United States was the biggest producer, and Europe had one of the biggest processing plants in the world.
And that's it for regional and international news.
Renelda Adams has sports after this.